Can I get a go Bears? What's up, G Squad? My name is Kristin. Welcome back to my channel. And today we will be going through my August TBR. I'm also very excited to do another Medical Spotlight with Kristin G segment. I know it's been a few videos, so I'm very excited to get back into it. TBR games are becoming some of my favorite videos to watch here on BookTube. And so I definitely want to create my own TBR game, maybe for next month, but if not, then October definitely. But for now, I'm just going to talk about some books that I plan on reading this month that I just want to read. I have a lot that I want to read, so it works out perfectly for this month. And hopefully by next month, I'll have a very creative game. Now, if you look over here, these are all the books that I plan to read in August. So again, another very ambitious TBR for the month, but all of these books are going to eventually be read by me because I'm very excited to read each and every one of these books. And so hopefully if I don't read all of the books, I'll read a good chunk of them this month and then finish them up next month. The month of August has already started, so I'll start with a couple of books that I'm currently reading. I am currently listening to Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo on audiobook, and I'm loving it so far. Clap When You Land follows two girls who learn that they're sisters after their father dies in a plane crash. Prior to the crash, they had no idea that they had a sister. This book is written in verse. It's from both of the sisters' perspectives, and it follows them learning about their father's death and learning about each other, that the other person exists, and from there they're introduced as sisters and are beginning that relationship. I am also currently reading an arc from NetGalley called Above All Else by Dana Allison Levy, which follows two friends, Tate and Rose. They've been friends forever, since they were very young. Rose and Tate have been climbing with each other for years, and their ultimate goal is to climb Mount Everest. And so they're finally doing this in their senior year of high school. They're going to go and climb Mount Everest, and it follows this journey between the two, and they might become more than friends in this story. While climbing Mount Everest, they're short on oxygen and they're mentally and physically tired. So decisions are made rashly and challenges come. Basically, they have to figure out what is the most important to them. Above all else, what is the most important to them, or who is the most important. And again, I'm reading this as an arc that I got from NetGalley. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only about 40 pages or so into it. This is also a dual perspective narrative, and it'll be released on October 13th. The last book that I'm in the middle of and I plan on finishing this month is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I started this last month, but as we all know, I read The Priory of the Orange Tree last month, and that took up most of my reading time. And so I got a little bit into the fifth season, but not much. So I definitely plan on finishing it this month. It's really good so far. Like, everybody who loves N.K. Jemisin, everybody who loves the fifth season is not lying. It is so good, and I'm very excited to finish this and get all the questions I have answered, because if you read this, you just know that you're going to be confused going into this for a while. You're not too sure what's going on, but by the end of the book, everybody says all your questions will be answered. So I'm just waiting for that. I'm here for the ride, and I'm having a great time reading it. Of course, I'm reading Midnight Sun. It's arriving tomorrow, and I'm so excited. I'm probably going to start off reading Midnight Sun. I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you what Midnight Sun is, but it is the fifth book in the Twilight series. It's Twilight, but in Edward's perspective. I am a trash fan. I didn't even know Midnight Sun was a thing. Like, Stephenie Meyer leaked a few chapters a few years back, and I didn't even know that was happening. So can I call myself a true Twilight fan? I don't even know. But anyways, I'm gonna read it. And of course, I'm gonna have some type of video for it, whether that's a reading vlog or a review after I finish reading the book. But I also wanted to say that definitely donate to the Quileute tribe that is discussed in the Twilight series. We all know that Stephenie Meyer portrayed them very badly in the books, and we want to give them our support. So if you have the means and you plan on reading Midnight Sun, I would suggest donating to the Quileute tribe. They are trying to relocate their land higher up because they are in a tsunami zone, and they just want to move their land higher up to be out of that zone and to have overall safety for their members of the tribe. The next book on here is another book that I had planned on reading last month but didn't get to, and that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I need to read this. I'm still as excited as I was to read this as last month, And so I definitely will be getting to this month. If it becomes like August 20th and I have not started reading this book, somebody please tell me to pick this book up and stop playing, because it's Poppy War. It's the Poppy War. Everybody loves the Poppy War. And so I've only seen a very few number of people either DNF it or not love it. So I'm very excited. This is a fantasy inspired by Chinese history with influences from the Song Dynasty, the Sino-Japanese War, and the Opium Wars. Apparently chapter 21 is a great chapter, so I'm ready for it. There are all types of trigger warnings for this book, so just be prepared if you do choose to pick this book up. I'll know more about the trigger warnings once I read it, but if you are interested in the trigger warnings, I know that a lot of people have discussed the trigger warnings and they're there for you if you need them. The Burning God is coming out in November, so I only have a few months to read the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic before Burning God comes, so I need to get to it. There's actually one more book that I said I was going to read last month in July, but am now pushing it to reading it in August, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, the first book in the Farseer trilogy. I was supposed to read this with Monet and Maya last month, but didn't read it, and they both read it, so I'm gonna make it up and I'm going to definitely read Assassin's Apprentice in August. In the Assassin's Apprentice, we follow Fitz, who is a bastard son of a prince, and he is raised in the royal court, but he is of course treated as an outcast since he is a bastard son. All except one king who trains Fitz in the art of assassin. So we follow Fitz as he's growing into his manhood. It's, I think, a sort of a coming of age story from what I've been hearing. And again, this is a trilogy, so there's 3 books in the series, and we follow Fitz as he continues to grow up into a man. The next book I plan on reading this month is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. This is the book club pick for the Black Hotties. I bought this book right after the whole reading rush incident, which I talked about in my reading rush vlog. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, please check out my vlog. But anyways, I am definitely reading this, and I'm very happy that the Hotties picked this as their book club pick for the month. This follows a Black woman who is babysitting for a white family. She takes this white child to the grocery store to get things for the family, and she is accused of kidnapping this baby. This is a pretty short book, so I definitely think that I can finish it this month, and I'm definitely excited to tune into the live show that the Hotties are gonna have on their channel later this month. The second to last book that I have on my TBR for this month is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is Monet's favorite books, and so of course I have to read her favorite book. And anyway, I've been meaning to get to this book for a while now. I bought it earlier this year and just haven't picked it up, so I'm happy that I'm getting the push that I need to read this book because I just know it's going to be good. The Brains and Books group chat, we are reading this together this month, or we're just all gonna read it this month to support Monet and her favorite book. I can't really give you a synopsis of the book because I feel like it's very whimsical and complex, so don't think I can give a too good of a synopsis, and I haven't really even read the synopsis myself to really know what it's about, but I just know that it follows Laszlo Strange, who's a librarian, and everybody seems to like it, so I'm gonna give it a go and hopefully enjoy it. Last book on my TBR for the month. I know, it's so much. Why am I doing this to myself? But anyway, the last book that I'm also very excited to read is Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is a vampire story that is described as similar to Twilight series, but it's not similar to Twilight series. I'm not really sure. Kristin from Editorial Edge absolutely loves this book. So does Jaleesa from The Name's Jaleesa. They both love this book, but Kristin is the one who brought this to my attention. She has a full review of this book on her channel, so please check it out. I will leave it linked down below. And it's about vampires. There's a boarding school in the book, and I absolutely love a boarding school setting in a book. If I ever decide to write a book, there will definitely be a boarding school setting in my book. So I absolutely love it. When she said vampires and boarding school, I immediately went to Amazon and put it on my wish list. And once I hit 300 subscribers, I decided to treat myself to buy books, and this is definitely one of the books that I bought. And so now it's here, and I definitely plan on reading it this month. So that is all the books that I would love to get to this month, but I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not gonna read all those books. But it's nice to know that I am ambitious and that I have a lot of books that I want to read. I love to give myself a lot of options, so I have options to pick from throughout the month when I'm looking for my next book to pick up. Now it's time for a medical spotlight with Kristin G. I have a stethoscope, and I don't know why I haven't been wearing this in my previous medical spotlights because I just think I look real professional with it, but I definitely remembered it today, and this is gonna be the new uniform. Today's topic is gonna be color blindness. I wanted to do something with eyesight because I'm currently going through some physics topics for the MCAT, and one of the topics in physics, or really in all the subjects, biology as well, but you learn about the eye, you learn about eyesight, and you learn about different types of mirrors and nearsighted, farsighted, convex, concave mirrors and lenses. So I wanted to talk about something, but also wanted to keep it interesting and not like a physics lesson, because even I don't want to listen to myself talking about physics right now. So I thought I would just talk about color blindness and what that is. So if you are colorblind, that doesn't mean that you are literally blind. It just means that you have a deficiency. You have difficulty distinguishing different colors such as red and green and blue and yellow, with red and green deficiency being the most common in colorblind people. Colorblindness is an inherited condition that affects males more frequently than it affects females. I'm sure at this point in your life, you probably already know if you're colorblind or not, but color blindness can occur later on in life. It's not something that you have to be born with or something, but it is something that you can develop later on in life. That could be an indicator of other health conditions that you may need to get checked out. If you're worried about those viral social media pictures where it was like a dress, do you see gold and white or red and something, that one with the colors, don't worry, that does not mean you're colorblind. It's just an optical illusion, and it's meant to trick you. How you perceive color depends on a lot of things, so that is not a colorblind test, that is an optical illusion. In the normal eye, we have photoreceptors that are located in your retina, and these photoreceptors are rods and cones. There are more rods than there are of cones, but rods are not capable of perceiving color. That is what cones are. Cones perceive the color that we see. And these photoreceptors are located in the central zone of the retina called the macula. In the center of the macula is the fovea, which contains the highest amount of cones in the eye. Diagnosing color blindness early on in life is very helpful because it prevents learning difficulties for children, especially in elementary school. A lot of the lessons are based on shapes and colors, and it's important to know if the child is colorblind so the teacher can make accommodations for the kid before they fall behind in class, not knowing that it's because they can't see the same colors that their classmates are seeing. There's not a cure for color blindness, but there are definitely ways and strategies to cope with this condition. A few ways that people who are colorblind cope with this condition is that, for example, with driving, there is a red stop and a green go. And again, those are the colors that they cannot perceive. So they just know that red would be on the top. So if they see something and the top light is lit up, that means that's stop. And if the bottom one is lit up, that means go. So that's a way that people who are colorblind cope with that. And another way is that there are special contact lenses that you can get from your eye doctor. Just go into the eye doctor, say if you're colorblind, and they'll give you either contacts or special glasses that can help see the color that you wouldn't be able to see without those glasses on. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the reason why color blindness is more frequent in males than it is in females, and that is because color blindness is caused by an X-linked recessive gene. And so if we all know our basic biology, we know that females have XX and males have XY. A colorblind person, which is again caused by an X-linked recessive gene, means that the mom is a carrier of this gene or is colorblind herself. If a father is colorblind, then they will pass on this gene on their X chromosome to their daughter, but not to their son, because sons cannot receive X chromosome data from their fathers, only from their mom. If a mother passes along her X-linked gene to her son, then the son automatically is colorblind, since the son will only have one X chromosome. Genetics is complicated and there's a lot that goes into it. Basically, all you need to know is that color blindness is related to an X-linked recessive gene, and that is the reason why color blindness is more common in males than in females, because males only have one X chromosome. If that colorblind gene is passed on to the son, then they automatically are colorblind. And that concludes our medical spotlight segment for today, color blindness. and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you have a specific medical topic that you would love for me to discuss or look into, please leave that in the comments below. I have a few ideas, a few topics in mind that I want to eventually get to, but I'd also love your input so that I can talk about topics that interest you as well and not just that interest me. Wish me the best of luck in my August TBR. I have a lot of reading to do. Expect some vlogs from me. I really enjoyed doing a weekly vlog last week or 2 weeks ago, and I will definitely try to do another weekly vlog this month, and I'll definitely have, again, like I said, some type of video that has to do with Midnight Sun, either a reading vlog or a review of the book. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Leave me a doctor emoji down below if you've made it to the end of this, because I'm wearing my stethoscope and I'm feeling real cool. So leave me a doctor emoji down below if you made it to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!